Hi, I'm Lindsay from Shreve Memorial Library and welcome to Art Club. This week we're going to go back to some watercolor and we're going to change it up a little bit from the flowers we've been doing. Today we are going to paint a moon, or a sun if you want it to be a sun, and a line with birds on it. When I was a kid, I think I was really convinced that when, like in the mornings when we'd be driving to school and the birds would be lined up on the line and there'd be so many of them, I was convinced that they were also going to school and that was their classroom. Yeah, we were all young once. It was a good time, wasn't it? Anyway, so that's what we're going to do today. Mine is a moon. I'm going to paint the colors accordingly. Yours can be a sun if you want. You can do totally different colors. You can do pretty sunset. You can do it however you want to do it, but mine is going to be a muted blue background with a moon in it. So here's what you need. So this is a watercolor pencil just because it will fade out better, but you can use a regular pencil. I'm going to trace this. This is a lid from a candle. Like, just find something. You can totally freehand a circle if you want to, but if you don't want to, just find something that is a size that just makes a big sun or moon on your paper and looks okay. So this is what I found around my house. I have a ruler here. It's 100% optional. This is in fact a T-square. You do not need that. That will not help me at all with this. I have, let's see, a big paintbrush, a little paintbrush, 3-color paints today. This is a blue, an orange, I know it looks brown, and it's kind of a browny orange, and a black pretty much. So this can be any orange. So you do not need these specific colors, just so you know. These are cerulean blue, quinacridone sienna, and Payne's gray. Yeah, and Payne's gray. Just a fun hint, if you ever get liquid watercolors, because these come from tubes, and you put them in pans, it's always a great idea to label the pan itself. That is the only reason I know what any of my colors are anymore, as much as I move them around. Anyway, so I have these 3 colors, so you need a blue, an orange, and really optionally a black, because you can just use a different mixture of the blue and orange to do the same thing as black. I also have a pen. This is a micron. You don't need a micron. You can use any pen. We're going to do this when the painting is completely dry, so really a ballpoint would work. A felt tip would work. A thin Sharpie is fine, like whatever you have. And this is also optional. I thought it might be fun to put a couple little stars winking out in the sky. Again, if you're doing a sun scene, though well, I guess I've seen stars in the morning. Anyway, yeah, you can, this is optional too. I'm just going to add a couple stars. You can also do that with plain white paint and a paintbrush. Yeah, that's what I got. Let's go. My paper today is the usual 5x7 watercolor paper, taped down. Nothing special about it. Again, I always say it, your mileage may vary with paper. The better the paper you use, the better experience you'll have. This is not great paper. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to decide. I'm going to put this in the middle toward the top. Okay, this is where my moon is going to be. And I'm going to draw this little circle lightly. Especially if you're using a regular pencil, do this lightly. You need to be able to see it, but not too well. This is a gray pencil, by the way. Okay. There is my moon. Yeah, you can see it. If yours isn't the same size, that's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal. I'm going to do this painting like I've done a lot of them, and that means wet and wet. So we're going to paint the background, and I'm going to wet the whole thing. Wet and wet, if you haven't done art club before, because we do it all the time, just means that you're painting wet paint on a wet surface. So I'm just going to pretty much paint the surface of this minus this moon circle. I'm going to leave that white. I'm going to paint the surface of this with water. Okay, you want your surface pretty wet, but not like puddly. Okay, I'm gonna get some blue, good bit of blue, Okay. This out so I don't get my blue too dirty. Some orange and mix those in. It looks like I have way too much orange in there. With these, it depends like what specific kind of paint you're using, what specific color you're using, to how much of each it takes to get a good washed out blue. Let's see, a little more blue, just a little bit. You see this kind of gray color I'm getting? I want a blue gray. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna put some more water in here. See this color? It was something like that. Just a grayed out blue. And the reason I'm gonna paint this, okay, I don't want it too dark. The reason that works is that the colors blue and orange are opposite each other on the color wheel, and that means they are complements. And when you mix two complements, you will, and enough of them, you will eventually get black. And so what happens is it'll darken and desaturate whatever color you're mixing it into. So since orange is on the opposite side of the color wheel as blue, it is desaturating it and turning it gray. So I think that's pretty cool. Same thing goes for other complements on the color wheel, which include green and red, purple and yellow, and colors like that that are just opposites of each other on the color wheel. It also makes, say you do a painting that's blue and you put like a shot of orange in there somewhere, that's going to make that orange really stick out. Oh, this is not perfect. We're okay with not perfect. So I have this. I think I'm okay with that. We'll see once it's dry. Remember, watercolor dries lighter than it looks like when it's wet. So once you get something you like, let it dry thoroughly. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, my painting is dry. And really, I like the color, but I want it a little bit darker. So, here's what you do when you want a situation like that. It has to be dry, okay? Make sure your painting is dry, and then you can repeat the steps that you just did. So I'm going to wet it again, and then I'm going to get more paint, the same exact mix, and I'm going to give it one more coat. Okay, that looks better. I am going to dry this again thoroughly, and I think I'll be happier with the color this time. My painting is dry. I really like how this color turned out. That makes me happy. Okay, so next up, I am going to use my T-square and make a line. So just use a ruler. You do not need a T-square. So you have some options here. You can do this like sloping line or something. I just think, just to be safe, all we're going to do today is this. It's not level. I don't want a level line. I want an almost level line. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw caution to the wind and probably regret this, but you do it how you want to do it. Let me look at my reference. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this and then kind of just slope down to here in one motion, okay? Turned it so I'll have a better chance of doing it. So I just have this line and then, uh-oh, there we go. So now I have to go back over it very slowly. Maybe I should have used a thicker pen. Okay, that will do. Look at that. That's nice. I think I like this better than I would have if I would have used the ruler, but you do you. So here you have two options. One of those is to use a pen and draw the birds. That's perfectly cool. Another thing you can do, and which is what I'm gonna do, is use a paintbrush. Now, I guess I should have said this earlier. The pen you just used, if it is a ballpoint, it's probably fine. If it's micron, it's definitely fine. If it's a felt tip, it's iffy and it might run a little bit, but it should only run into the black that you're putting on it, so it shouldn't be a big deal. This micron, one nice thing about them is that they are waterproof once they're dry. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use paint. You don't have to use paint again. You can totally use the pen you just used to draw that line. Okay, do that. I'm going to get, where's my black? Here it is. I'm going to get some black paint out. This is actually Payne's Gray. So this black tends very much toward blue. I love Payne's Gray. It's a great color. I want this pretty dense. You can also use ink. Ink is a lot messier than regular watercolor though. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do one. So here's how we're gonna make these birds. I'll do one over here. Well, we better start up here, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna do one here. I'm gonna give it a little head about just a tiny bit over here, so it has a little head, right? And then its body comes down here and is a little round, okay? And then a little hair on there. Comes down like that and hits the wire. Make sure you can see that. Okay, and then its tail comes down straight like that. So there's our first little bird. I don't want the back to be that straight. There we go. There's our first little bird. Okay, so you can do as many or as few birds as you want. They don't all need to be shaped like that. They can be going over in the other direction like this. Let's see if I can draw in this way. Belly. Yep, and then its tail comes down like that. Okay, they can be different sizes. Let's see, we can do one that is looking this way farther. So we're going to go in the moon now and do the little head, right? And then this is just kind of a little, oval, like that. Okay. And then the tail is just kind of a little line. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, if you want to, you can give them a wee little beak. Oops. Yeah, like that. Like that. Yeah, I think beaks help. Okay. So you can do them facing you pretty much, which would be like, there's a little head. You wouldn't see the beak in this one. And then a straight oval like that. Kind of comes a little bit fatter. And then this just comes down out of the middle and gets a little bit wider at the bottom. Okay, see, birds are super easy on a line. Okay, so let's do a few more. Do one here, and again, you don't need to have the birds in the same places as I do. You can. And there you have it. I really like this. It's super simple. This would be another one that you could do for a card. Mother's Day is coming up. Mothers love handmade presents. They do all of them, every single one of them. I'm going to sign this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a darker, oop, that is not what I want to do. I'm going to make a darker version of that. I'm just going to get some blue, some, oops, too much water. Let's try over here. Orange, blue, it's darker. Test it. Oh, we aren't done. I'm going to leave that there for a minute, but I don't think I want to add it. I was going to add stars, but actually I will. I'll add a couple more. So I'm going to use this paint marker. I got to shake it up. You can also use white paint and a paintbrush. No big deal. Okay, my paint marker's ready. And all I'm going to do is just go in here every now and then. Like, I'm not putting many. This is just kind of telling you that this is nighttime and not daytime. So just have some little tiny dots here and there. Okay. I think that's enough. I like this painting. Now I'm going to sign it. You can sign it in any color you want, anywhere you want. I'm going to sign it in this bottom corner, small. Don't forget to sign it. It's awesome because you did it. And you should be proud of it. Okay. That turned out really nice. So, we get to pull off the tape. Pull it off very slowly so you don't rip your paper. That would make me mad. I repositioned my my tape earlier and I ripped it off too fast, and then this corner came up a little bit. Let's see. So I'm gonna be extra slow over here. Looks good. Yeah, I guess I didn't press down well enough there, but that is fine. Okay. Ooh, that looks so nice. And to fix this, I could go back over with like some white gouache, but I'm not gonna be bothered to do that. But doesn't that look lovely? I think that's nice. This is like, it's super peaceful. It's like a nice breath of fresh air. So, I like how this turned out. So I hope you joined me. I hope you painted along. If you did, please take a picture of your work and send it into the library's social media. We love to see what you do. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and join me again next week, and we will make more art at Art Club. Bye.